Today I'm going to be making applesauce. Really, really simple, yummy tasting applesauce. You just need a couple of apples. I'm just going to use 2 today. And use this kind of a handy dandy tool to cut the apple really quickly. And then I just kind of cut it up into a few more pieces. And this is a raw version of applesauce. So not only is it really easy, all you have to do is cut up apples and put them in, just blend them up. It's really healthy because the apples are fresh. You don't have to spend the time cooking it. You don't have to add sugar. I just add a little bit, a pinch of cinnamon. Should take some of that out. And my family loves this. They go crazy for it. And I've been making it for years. The first couple of times I made it, I put a couple of dates in there thinking, well, you're going to need something to sweeten it. And that was the first time. I used 4 dates, I think, for 4 apples, and it was actually disgusting. We couldn't even eat it, and soon realized you really don't need much of a sweetener, if any, at all. I kept cutting it down until finally I was using maybe a half of a date for 4 apples, and eventually we didn't even need that, and it's just, depends on how sweet you like it, and it depends on what kind of apples you use, but in general, they're pretty sweet on their own, so we just use the apples and pinch of cinnamon. And this is the small container for the Vitamix. I don't know if any of you guys saw the almond butter video that I did. I talked about the small container and the tamper being a problem for the almond butter. It's not for most recipes because the fact that the tamper gets wider at the top just prevents it from going too low. It just stops. But if you're pushing something like raw almonds, they're really hard. It's a really hard type of food, and you have to really use a lot of force. And you can, if you're using all your muscle power, you can push the tamper lower than it would go if you were just pushing lightly. So that's why it doesn't work with a recipe like almond butter, but it's fine to use your small container with something like apples, almost anything else but almonds. So it'll just take a minute here. I'm going to turn the machine really pretty quick and easy. You can make this in a food processor if you don't have a Vitamix, don't want a Vitamix. The only thing is you have to peel the apples because the apple skin will not grind up in a food processor. But using the Vitamix, you do get the added benefit of having the skin. First of all, you don't have to take the time to peel the skin, and second of all, you're getting all the nutrients where most of the nutrients, in fruits and vegetables are in the skin. So, ta-da! We like to use Braeburn's or, what do we use? Braeburn's, Fuji's, Pink Ladies, Gala. My husband and I were just having a debate over how you actually pronounce that. Tomato.
Let's call the whole thing
a soft, you want to use a hard, firm apple. I don't recommend using mealier, softer apples. Like Red Delicious apples don't work very well, in my opinion anyway. We like it better with a firm, crisp apple.